that you know, got what? You know that dang, oh, got milk? No. You know, that dude. Oh, got Phil. Yeah, got Phil. Yeah, got Phil. Phil. Yeah, got Phil.
Hi, I'm Phil, and you are watching PBT.
I just can't let you go. Keep running. The birds have all fled the trees. When I'm falling too far, you used to always orchestrate it.
It's a different feel, featuring Remember Yesterday,
You remember yesterday.
The Cool It's Just Like, the beautiful Summertime Rain, a tribute, Baba Lee, That's Why, and a special hidden track, Feeling That, a different feel. The acoustic set, available on all music platforms.
Hi, I'm Patrick Fawcett, and you're watching PBT.
The boogeyman has been released. They know what it's called, but they don't know where it is, how people get it, if it's contagious, if it's an aerosol or in the air. What they do know is if you get it, it can kill you.
672. Whoever 755 East 80th Street. 755 East 80th Street. Tiffany Miles, a male black was following him. He's dark complexion, heavy set, wearing dark clothes.
They did get to kill him. They just left the justice part out.
Everything was taken away with COVID. And just to think, winter is coming. Hey 100s, what's up? It's me again, Phil, and I'm very excited about all the things that's happening right here on PBT, the network. Right now we have the Got Phil t-shirt campaign, and it's our goal to sell 1,000 t-shirts for all the new content that's in the works. Be a part of it. Get your Got Phil t-shirts. Woo!
Hey, I'm Mesmi, and you are watching PBT.
Hi, I'm Phil, and this is my channel, Kickin with Phil, and I'd love for you to like, share, and subscribe so you can get that notification bell. Hey, Hey you guys, what's up? We kicking it again and I'm excited. I have a really, really dear friend, incredible singer, songwriter, producer, and she's just been honing her skills over the years in her studios and whatnot. And today she's gonna even talk about her debut self-produced album, Slow Bloom. And I'm telling you, I got it on Spotify. I even tell, I better be careful because Alexa's listening to play it, and she plays it for me. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for my dear friend, Mesmi. Hey, Mesmi, how you doing?
Doing good. How about you, Phil?
I can't complain because I just feel so good and just so honored that you just came and just share with me. And you've just been my friend. I think, of course, we go to the same church.
Of course.
And I just love your music. I've come to some of your concerts and everything. And I know your music and everything. But I just want you to just talk a little bit about yourself and where you're from.
Okay. Well, thank you for inviting me. And I'm super honored to be here.
Oh, what are you talking about? I've been wanting you for a while, girl. You rock.
Well, I've just been so blessed by your support through the years, coming to the shows and way back, Phil, with version 1. Sorry, the question again.
Just tell us a little bit where you're from and how you got started.
Well, so I grew up in Northern Virginia, little suburbs outside of DC, and then in the middle of growing up, my family moved to the LA area. So then I kind of did half outside DC and half in SoCal, and then I just bounced around after that and came back a little bit after college to LA. And I grew up, so all that time I grew up doing music. It's a very pretty standard East Asian kid thing to do classical music. So I did classical piano, violin. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, even though as a kid you kind of hate it. But it's like one of those things your mom tells you you'll always be grateful for later, and she's totally right about.
Yes.
But all of that morphed into me discovering music outside of classical music and learning to love music that could speak to all the things I was going through and all my different emotions, and that eventually led me to wanting to make my own music and write my own songs, and that's what's been going on for the past several years.
Oh, wow. So now how did Slow Bloom come about?
Slow Bloom? Oh, man. So pre-Slow Bloom, I worked with a bunch of different people, and you know how it is in LA, you try so many different things and you meet all different kinds of creative professionals.
Yes.
And you gotta kind of find your own path through it, you know? And I found it wasn't working waiting on other people to collaborate with, and I couldn't find the right creative partner, and I had a lot of disappointments, so I was like, I need to learn this stuff. And I ended up taking some classes, getting my own gear and my feet wet in the studio side of recording and learning the software, the hardware. Yeah, so it was tough, but I think like anything, you know, like with your craft and music for sure, you do it enough times and you really just have to put yourself, your mind, your body into really practicing and doing the work. And over time I got better and better, and I was able to finally, I think, have enough skill to articulate the emotions that I was trying to get out. So I wrote the songs, and then I was able to record them and produce them and mix them.
Nice.
And finally it became Slow Bloom, and the title was kind of about a little bit about that journey, but also just about life and loss and pain. There were a lot of things that happened I think the past few years before that, and a lot of I think anytime you kind of grow up as a young adult, there's a lot of reckoning of your history and the things that made you, and the mistakes you still make.
Yes.
And I think it was me finally getting to the point where I could come to terms a little bit more with that.
Nice.
And learn from that. But it felt like it was a really long journey getting to that point, so that's why it's called Slow Bloom.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. And let me just ask you this, because there was, I guess, a certain time. I know you mentioned waiting for somebody to collaborate, and you just can't always, do that. What was some of those feelings like? Was it frustrating, or what is it?
Yeah. it was super frustrating. I know every artist has these stories, every musician, but you work on a song, and then your collaborator disappears, or you pay a producer, and then they end up not coming through. And it's, everything's so expensive. Like, I'm not sure exactly how it works with acting and a production, but as an indie artist, right, you self-finance everything. So you put up all the money, all the costs, and then no one pays to buy music. And then also, but then also, like, a lot of, it's just expensive, because that work does deserve to be compensated, but it's easily thousands of dollars if you want to do it properly. So it was really heartbreaking to have all these songs that you thought were going somewhere and were going to be released, and then it just doesn't work out, and you're like, what do I do with this, and where did my money go? I gotta start over. So it was tough, and to be honest, I just like to bring this up because I don't think a lot of people know, but the music industry, especially behind the artists, is still really heavily male dominated, and USC actually released, since the Me Too movement, since I think 2018, a study that analyzes the statistics of female versus male representation, just in songwriting and engineering and production, all that stuff, and it's a lot lower than people think. So even female producers are less than 5%, and female women of color producers are, the first year they did it was like 0.5, 0.3%. So it's just when you think of, I want to find someone who could relate to me, who really gets me, you know, that could feel safe and comfortable to make the kind of art that is vulnerable and really go in there more easily. That's such a rare chance, compared to...
Wow, still even now.
Yeah, it's getting better little by little, but it's still heavily skewed that way.
Is that how Sound Off came about?
Yeah, so Sound Off is my my music site and blog for basically Asian American musicians. That was also something I didn't really see growing up, and that made it hard for me. I feel like just having any kind of network to start off from, because you know how it is as an artist, you gotta have some kind of support. And not having that, I saw we didn't even have coverage, and people just didn't take you seriously from the starting point. And so I wanted to be able to provide that, because I knew there were other amazing Asian American creators, and I met some of them in some great kind of social organizations and some arts supportive Asian American organizations. LA is really lucky to have that because of the population we have and the diversity we have, but otherwise you don't see each other, and I wanted a place where we could support each other and we could also see each other, so I could highlight a producer in Georgia or a mixer in on the East Coast, and then someone else could be like, hey, I like that sound, let me get in contact with him or her, since we have the internet. And so it's for being able to see each other as well as for the world to see us.
That is awesome. That's awesome, girl. Wow. And I'm just glad that you're bringing it up about young ladies and different people and Asian girls and girls and people in your community, and just seeing a need and something and reaching out because it's something that you too need and for support.
Oh, totally.
Wow. Now tell me a little bit about, I want to say vodka.
I'll do it.
Do it. Because
Well, so it's funny that you mentioned these. So I think a lot of people who end up doing anything, but especially a small business or an art, it kind of springs from something you need, right? Like that hunger or longing. So Sound Off definitely was part of the community I didn't have and I wanted to help foster. And Batoka is
Batoka. There it is. I knew it was something.
We got it. It doesn't matter.
You are so hot. Yeah, go for it.
But Batoka is my my startup business, or my business basically, where I get to use the skills I learned, the engineering, all the audio and the production, as well as songwriting. I definitely, that's my home base, songwriting and consulting and branding. I learned so much visual stuff as well along the way. I think being an independent musician, you really are expected kind of to be an expert at 20 different jobs, your marketing, your branding, your graphic design, your web design. So I had to learn all that too. Otherwise, again, you're paying hundreds of dollars that you don't have to people. Wow. So just because I think I was blessed to be able to have the time and, you know, computer, those resources to figure it out. And I do, like, I come from an visual art background too, so I have a little bit of that background and affinity for it. So I was able to try and step into all these boxes and pick up these extra skills that an independent musician artist needs. And I wanted to be able to use that to help people, because there are just so many sides that you have to take care of as an indie artist. And there's also the legal, like all your copyrights, all your royalties, keeping up mechanical performance. You got to register with like 10 different organizations, how to keep track of international royalties, because now we're talking international streaming. So there's just so much detail that I had to learn, that I wanted to be able to use that knowledge to help other people, and that's what Matoka Studios does. So if someone, it's basically consulting and audio services, but if someone needs anything from recording guitars to doing voiceover, or getting just a crash course on how do you start as an independent singer-songwriter, that's what it's for.
Wow! I always like to ask my guests if they would share, because like you said, there are indie artists out there and the demands are just so crazy. But then there are sometimes that people get really discouraged, and you even mentioned, but you just, you know, you were able to channel and do and see something that it needed to be done. The monies are too expensive, so you did something. But many people, many of them are out there, and they come to Los Angeles. They have these big dreams, and but they get so discouraged. What would you tell someone that we're in this place, that I'm just so frustrated, and I think I'm just gonna pack up and just give up and just I don't have a dream anymore? What would you tell someone?
Well, yeah, first of all, like, don't get down on yourself, because it is tough. It is so tough. And I didn't realize how tough it was gonna be getting into it. And I think there are a few things. One is that always be in touch with yourself. You know, always be in touch with what you need and what you want in the moment, and don't feel bad about it changing, because I think to get through it and to stick to your goal, whatever it is, it's gonna take that. It's a weird thing for an artist. It takes that tenacity to hold on to your vision, but it also takes flexibility on how to get there. So I would say just like keep in touch with yourself and know maybe what the moment is calling for and what you need. And so if you need a break, it's okay to take a break. You know, if you need to look for a community, go out and look for a community if that's what you're liking. I'm still on that journey too. And I think at the end of the day, maybe two things. I think just from what I've learned is like, try your best not to lose touch with the art. And that's the part you love. You know, don't try your best not to forget what you love, because I've definitely been down many dark holes and gotten drowned out by so much of the business. I was talking to my best friend on the phone the other day, and I was like, I do 99% business, 1% music, you know, and it's just sucking and bleeding my soul dry. And I just like didn't want to do it anymore. So you have to guard your heart and your time for your art. And I think the other thing is definitely surround yourself with community as regularly as possible, because without it, it's just so easy to lose sight. And I think as an artist, you can feel very lonely. Especially music, the nature of the craft is, you know, if you're a musician, you're practicing alone in your room for hours a day. If you're a producer, the same thing. More and more, the more we work digitally, and definitely with COVID. So you have to really also, I think, be as proactive and finding community as possible. I know it's tough too. Any creative, good relationship is not the easiest to find usually, but it's worth it. And that's something I tell myself too, that I need to always be on the lookout for and keep in mind.
Beautiful, beautiful. And so we have Slow Bloom.
Yeah.
And I want to ask
finally. Long time coming. Long time coming.
So it may not happen overnight, but time, honing the skills, holding on, pressing on, and
surrounding yourself with community and
And I
guarding
just
your
want to
heart.
say, Slow Bloom did come out of a dark place, by the way, because it was when I was going through stuff and also in that moment of exhaustion and wanting to just like let go of a lot of things. And I think in that process, when you are going through a dark place, it's really easy, at least for me, to kind of like guard your heart and cut, just like even subconsciously become more numb. And that was definitely what had built up for me over the years. So it was also about learning to open up and to be okay with getting hurt a little bit and bleeding a little bit as part of the fullness of life's experience. Because you gotta open up for pain if you're gonna open up for joy.
Okay, I love that. It reminds me of that scripture, weeping in the night, but joy comes in the morning.
Amen.
Yay. So I'm gonna ask you a little favor.
Okay.
We gotta take a little break, and I'm just wondering, when we come back, if we can get you to maybe do a cut or two from Slow Bloom.
I think we could arrange that.
Hey, so you heard it, you guys. When we come back, we're gonna get Mesmi to do maybe a little bit from Slow Bloom. You remember yesterday. Hi, I'm Phil, and this is my channel, Kickin with Phil, and I'd love for you to like, share, and subscribe so you can get that notification bell. Ladies and gentlemen, Mesmi.
Draw your exes, draw your guns. Can we just call this even? Drop our plates, sheet our tongues. Take a moment from this deadly standoff. I'm not trying to play any games. If you see me pulling away, I'm falling too far and slipping too fast into the crash. So I'm holding back, even as I hold on to all the things you are. What if I'm not enough, or the fire flies away, left burning up in your atmosphere? In my dreams you'd reappear for years and years and years and years, not trying to play any games. I just find certain words hard to say when I'm falling too far and slipping too fast into the crash. So I'm holding back, even as I hold on to all the things you are. And I've been waiting on forever for forever, taking 2 steps forward, now I'm 10 steps back. Go gentle of patience going over. I'm cradling your heart as we give in to that. Fall into and slip into fast into the crash. So I'm holding back, even as I hold on to all the things you are. Draw your exes, draw your guns. Can we just call this even?
Mesmi, I just want to say thank you for kicking it with me.
Thanks for letting me kick it with you, Phil.
Ah,